Melly and I are back out in the garage today working on her Honda Rebel, Barney, and ran into a little bit of a problem, kind of a hang up here. So let me show you what's going on. While Melly's taking off the tank, I will walk you through what's going on here. So I'm getting ready to wire in a solid state relay and flasher for her bike so we can put LED turn signals on it. And what I had found out was that they used a newer style battery from the newer Rebels on this bike, and the bozo clown who owned this bike before decided that they would just extend the battery cables so they can swap the terminal sides. And this 5 miles of tape down here was the only thing holding this on, because I pulled on it by hand and it popped right out of the connector. I've got new Honda Rebel battery cables on order. I found a set off of eBay because that end's pretty gnarly. So I have to clean all this mess up, and because it's already kind of configured to run the newer style battery, if you see here, the negatives on that side and the positives here, it's a different model of battery, but it's the same physical dimensions. It's just the terminals are swapped. And since I've already paid good money for a new battery based upon this hack design, I'm going to go ahead and swap the terminals and make sure the colors are all correct. But I need some terminals and I need some connectors. I'm going to solder splice along with a crimp-on connector and extend this to put the positive on this side. And then I'll just file off these guys here so that nobody ever gets confused and puts the terminals on the wrong side. Come at it from the back and lift it straight up.
Everywhere else?
Yeah, it's just those bolts on each side of the front. Okay. It's probably going to weigh a good 10 pounds, maybe. There's the old Rebel fuel tank. We're actually going to replace this with a new fuel tank. And we just have to transfer over the cap and the valve there. One of the things I'm going to do is put a small 2-inch bike Master Tachometer. And I got to tap into the harness here. And I believe, I got to find it. There's a wire lead somewhere in this general vicinity that is the coil signal wire, and then there's a ground underneath this connector to tap into here, and then that provides me with power, ground, and signal to power a tachometer. One of the frustrating things about the Honda Rebel is you have to give it the beans to get it to go anywhere. I mean, really rev it hard, and you don't know what it's revving to. And Honda gives you this little guide here, which is about useless. It says 1 through 5 to indicate that's when you should shift your gear. However, it's garbage because you're going way too slow. Because we've kind of relocated the speedo by flipping these brackets around using the blue color bobber kit. What we're going to do, get this key out of the way, is there's a bracket that comes with the speedo that clips onto the handlebar. And these older turn signals are coming off. We have LED units, which is the reason why I cracked into the bike in the first place. And so the clamp will put this about right there, and we're going to angle it so Mel can see it easily. So when she's giving it hell in every gear, she'll be able to see how many RPMs she's pulling. And it'll help set the idle when you start it up in the morning, so you know how many RPMs to set it for. So I had briefly mentioned before that the way Honda wires this is both leads of your left and your right turn signals actually come through this bulb, and the polarity reverses. So you end up using this diode as kind of like a rectifier bridge because LED turn signals have polarity. My assistant hands me one. So Barney's got these nifty little brackets here from Blue Collar Bobbers. We got these nifty brackets. And the signals are actually going to be down there instead of these giant horrible looking ones. And we've got ones for the back also, and these are very bright, but these are, because they're LEDs, they're polarized, which means this can't reverse polarity to flash. So without using the this little diode kit here, what happens is not only will the signals not flash, but they'll just turn on and stay on one side only, because these LEDs are essentially preventing the current from reversing the way Honda had it designed. So it's a pretty easy to fix. You just you wire that in and then you hook the signals up the way you normally would. But then you need one more thing. You need a solid state relay. So this prevents the turn signals from flashing like crazy. Blink, 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 blink. This all seems relatively easy until you get to this rat's nest BS crap here. So in there is a relay, which I'm going to replace with this dude here. But I ran into my battery cable problem, which kind of ground this whole process to a halt immediately. Parts are on order, but we still probably have another week or so, maybe 2, until we get the wheels back. So I was trying to sort out all the electrical stuff. But no such luck. We have to wait for parts. Look at that mess. What a bodge job. And the best part about it was the positive part was rubbing right up against the brake rod. So every time you were hitting the brakes, it was just rubbing a hole right in the 5 miles of electrical tape that the dipshit who owned it before wrapped around it. Way to go! That wouldn't have shorted out and caused a problem. No, never, not in a million years. So sadly, I'm stuck. Sorry, Mel. Anyhow, parts are on order, and get it fixed as soon as they come in, and we get to, well, I'll get to make a trip over to Able Electronics, because I have to get some crimp-on terminals that I can solder to splice in the new wiring with the old wiring so that it's done right and it will never short. Anyhow, till we see you next time, have fun riding your bikes.
I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, I'm gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I'll have the only one there.